Hey guys, welcome back. This is Connor Plays Magic, back once again, this time for some legacy gameplay. So we're going to be playing Mono Red Painter today. I'm actually doing some tournament prep for SCG CON Hartford that I'll be going to this weekend. If you're watching this after the fact, this is me just prepping, doing a little bit of work with making adjustments and tuning the list. This is also going to be the first Legacy League that I'll be playing in as part of my journey in learning and discovering MTGO. So, some of the adjustments and flex slots within Painter I can run through, as well as the overall strategy. So if you're new to Legacy, this is a fairly standard mono red painter build. We've got the standard mana base of utilizing Ancient Tomb as fast mana, some of these red lands as well as Urza Saga. So we have this kind of beatdown strategy that we can use with making Urza Saga construct tokens, as well as playing out some big uh, creatures that we can kind of go wide with. Phyrexian Dragon Engine, some of the goblins out of the Fable. The Chaos Defiler is notably an artifact that can come in and out of the graveyard with the Goblin Welder as well as the Goblin Engineer. Um, but the primary win con of the deck is this Painter Servant combo. So if you haven't seen this before, Painter Servant is a creature that when it enters allows you to choose a color, and all cards are that color in all zones. So what that allows you to do is utilize Grindstone to mill your opponent, and because both of the cards milled will share the same color, you'll repeat that process until your opponent is entirely milled out. So this is effectively a mill deck, but one of the other nice things is how much synergy is within this deck. So as I noted before, Goblin Engineer, Goblin Welder allow you to move artifacts in and out of your graveyard. So you can assemble combo pieces by putting them into your graveyard and messing around with things like that. Because Painter makes everything all a single color, in this deck we will almost always be naming blue as that color, which will turn on the effects of Red Elemental Blast as well as Pyroblast to be able to destroy permanents, to be able to counter any spell, especially with things like Simian Spirit Guide, allowing us to create mana out of our own hand. It's effectively a build your own force of will. If you have a blast effect and a Simian Guide in hand, you have a lot of other interesting synergies with bringing Phyrexian Dragon Engine out of the graveyard to refill your hand. You have Urza Saga tutoring up. Grindstone is one of the combo pieces, as well as some of these other utility artifacts. Agatha's Soul Cauldron is another interesting piece. This is one of the flex slots that I was mentioning. So there is another combo that this deck can utilize, which is for Agatha's Soul Cauldron along with Phyrexian Devourer, which I can pull up here. And Phyrexian Devourer allows you to exile cards off the top of your library to put +1/+1 counters onto it. What you can do is put Phyrexian Devourer into your graveyard and use Agatha's Soul Cauldron in order to exile it and put a +1/+1 counter on one of your other creatures and give them all the abilities of the Phyrexian Devourer, therefore making that creature able to exile off the top to grow itself at instant speed without the drawbacks of the static of Phyrexian Devour being that when its power is 7 or greater, you have to sacrifice it. So you can make a creature basically infinitely large at instant speed based upon the CMC of the remainder of your library. So if you swing in with 4 creatures and they can only block 3, and you have this all assembled, then you can swing in for lethal no matter how they block, which is a very interesting thing. So I was considering that. I did originally have Phyrexian Devourer as well as a third Agatha Soul Cauldron in the board as an additional combo. Agatha's being in the main allows us to be able to have main deck graveyard hate, which, especially with all the graveyard decks running around right now, like Oops All Spells and Blue Black Reanimator, is just very strong to have. I decided against it because having the combo means that because we want this in the graveyard and using Agatha's Soul Cauldron for our own purposes for synergy makes us weaker to graveyard hate as well as weaker to artifact hate. And Agatha's is already good as I mentioned, main deck graveyard hate against our opponents, as well as some synergies already with allowing us to be able to grant our creatures the abilities of a Goblin Welder or Goblin Engineer, for example. So still not entirely a dead card to have without the combo piece, but just something notable there. In the place of that third Agatha's and the Devourer, I've put in a third Lightning Bolt as well as a third Simian Spirit Guide. So that's some of the different tech that you can put in here with the flex slots. I also notably have a braid in the side. I did originally have a 2-2 split of Blood Moon and Magus of the Moon, but cut one of the Maguses for Breas just to specifically help with um, creating flying blockers against something like Murktides or against Dark Depths combo. So obviously, Blood Moon effects are already strong um, against that sort of Dark Depths or lands combo, but that was just something that I wanted to put in there. Fury, obviously good against creatures. Pithing Needle, Disruptor Flute, just generic strong cards that we can put in, and a Braid answers a lot of different things. Ley Lines is kind of obviously graveyard hate against Oops to be able to have something in before we can deploy an Agatha's or Soul Cauldron. That is basically the deck tech, and let's get into game number 1. Okay, we are on the draw. What do we have? We've got lands. We've got spells. What does this hand do? On turn 1, we can Fable. On turn 1, we can Fable, but that's about it. There's not a lot else this is doing. I'm going to mulligan this. I think we can do better than that. And if I were to turn 1 Fable, I'd be using Simian and Lotus Petal, and then I'd be down to 2 mana on turn 2 with not much going on. I'm just going to mulligan this. We have better hands. Urza's Saga would be part of a better hand. Yeah, this is great. So we can turn 1 Welder into turn 2 Saga. We'll keep the Spirit Guide, Red Blast as our kind of build your own Force of Will against blue stuff. And we can get rid of Chaos Defiler, so we'll keep this. Bottom Chaos Defiler and pass. They start on Trop. Okay. Okay. Go to our turn. Mountain and Welder. So Welder lets us swap an artifact in graveyard and in play either for us or for our opponent. slivers. Okay, well, if all slivers have Shroud, then I can't respond to them. So I'm going to just cast this Red Blast while I can. Yeah, basically they're, if you see an odd card in Legacy like this is very off meta. You just want to counter it immediately. You don't really want to be playing games. It's also, if you thought Seize, that's probably the card you want to take, is the card you least understand if somebody's doing something off meta, and especially with that giving Shroud, if it were to stay in play, I wouldn't be able to target it or anything else anyway, so best to just get rid of that. I probably should have played a second welder there. I just passed through too quickly. That's fine. That's fine. Okay, they're going to ponder here. It's fine for us. And then another one. Okay. Okay, they have Shroud. Nothing we can do about that. Let's go to our turn. Draw. Soul Cauldron. Okay. Now here's an interesting spot. I'm obviously not going to attack into the Crystalline Sliver. Question is, do we Urza Saga and make a construct, or do we deploy one of these? I think the Dragon Engine is probably better than the token here, because if we make a token, then make another token and tutor up an artifact, it's still not as good as a 2/2 double strike. I'm just going to play the Dragon Engine and pass, I think. Hey Pat, how's it going? And then we're just going to pass here. Okay, Hedge Maze. Okay, this is great because this also stops them from blocking. They're not going to swing their 2/2 to my 2/2 with double strike. And then here we're going to respond to this trigger by making a token. And then we'll tutor. We're going to just put the pedal to the metal here, I think, and grab boots to give haste. I think. What else? They got Memnite in the grave. Yeah. Let's just go quick. Let's do boots. Play a land. Equip the boots to the token. And then we'll go to combat. Swing with these. And then pass through. Okay, so they're down to 10 now. I'm still not sure what they're doing with these. Okay, they gave us the game, so that's something. Yeah, still not sure what they're doing with the Sliver or the Memnite, but let's go to sideboarding. So Fury might be interesting to kill creatures. The thing is, once they have their Sliver in play, it has Shroud, so there's nothing that we can do with the Fury because we can't target them. The Pyroblasts and stuff work on the stack, so those are obviously good to keep in. they were showing us a lot of non-basics, so I'm thinking maybe the moon effects would be strong here over the bolts. They did have Memnite though. I don't know what that's all about. I feel like I should have a better understanding of what they're doing, but I really don't know. It doesn't look like they're doing a lot of artifact stuff, so I'm gonna cut the soul cauldrons and get rid of the lantern as well. I think I'm just gonna bring in the blood moon effects. And do we want like an abrade or something as a one-off for Memnite? Probably not. Pithing needle to threaten their fetches. I don't think that's necessary. I mean, they're probably going to fetch around Urza Saga Chapter 3 anyway, so I don't think that's a big deal. And that's kind of a cheesy win that's more of an edge case than anything else. Yeah, I'm fine with this. I think we just bring in the Blood Moons, get rid of the graveyard stuff, and we call it there. Okay, submit. Okay, what do we have here? We've got... Oh, shit. Actually, we have a lot here. So what I can do here is turn 1 Urza Saga, Mox Opal, Lotus Petal, use the Urza Saga to play the Lava Spur Boots of three artifacts in play, which will turn on Metalcraft for Mox Opal, so I can play out Welder. Then turn 2, I'll have the Opal plus Saga to play out Painter. Turn 3, threaten the win. So let's keep this and see if we can just bum rush them with a fast turn 3 combo. See how this goes. Okay. We will play Saga. It'll get its first counter. We'll play Petal. Play Opal. Play Boots. And play Welder. And okay. Pass through. Okay, they have Hedge Maze. Okay, that's fine. Okay. Windswept Heath, interesting. Okay. Oh, shoot. That's awesome. Well, we got one of the grindstones. I mean, that's why we play two, so he can tutor up the other one. I don't think... Do we need to play out the grindstone? Doesn't hurt to play out the grindstone. I think we play the painter first to play around... I was gonna say to play around like a daze or something, but like we could just welder back regardless. Yeah, whatever. Let's play the painter first. See how they respond to this. We'll name blue. Everything is blue. And then we will play grindstone and pass to them. We have lightning bolt up And even if we use the pedal for bolt, we still have the 3 next turn to activate the grindstone. We'll just pass through our attacks. There's no reason to attack here. We're going to just win with combo. Okay, they're surveilling to try and find an answer. And even if they do answer Painter Servant, if they kill it, then it goes to our graveyard. Oh, here they're worldly tutoring for Clarion Conqueror? Clarion Conqueror. Oh, this is the one. Activated abilities of artifacts and creatures can't be activated. So here what I'm going to do is float red off of Lotus Petal while it's on the stack, and then that'll let us lightning bolt it. They're just trying to turn off the grindstone activation, but should be fine here. And then we're gonna bolt that. And there we go. We win the match. Able to turn 3 combo them. So if you guys weren't aware, I ran through this before, maybe Patrick for your benefit. We have Painter Servant making everything blue, and then Grindstone lets us mill target player, so our opponent, for 2 cards. If they share a color, then we repeat that process. So because everything is blue, you just repeat that process until your opponent is fully milled out and they lose to decking. So we are now 1-0, and I'll update the record. And we'll hop into round number 2. So we are into round number 2. We are on the play. We will take the play. And here, here we have Mountain into Soul Guide, Mox Opal. This hand is a little sketch. I mean, there's Mountain and eventually Mox Opal as an additional land. I just don't like the non-clear plan and few mana. We're just gonna mulligan this. Here, Mountain, Saga, Grindstone. I think this is better. I don't think it's great, but it's better. Fable can help us be a draw engine, so we'll keep that even though we only have the 2 lands. I don't think we necessarily need the Grindstone, so we'll keep this, put back Grindstone, because that can be tutored up with the Saga anyway. And that's really not helping us until we're winning, so let's start on Mountain and just pass. And then we can have Blast up, have Lightning Bolt up, and we'll see what happens here. Okay, Volk into DRC. Okay, so this is probably, is it Delver? They're just a tempo deck. We'll wait until they pass the end step, and then we'll bolt the Dragon Rage Chandler. Draw. Saga, okay. Then we'll play out the Agathas. This will help us slowly chip away at their graveyard so they can't build up for a Murktide Regent. They're thinking about this. Yep, and this is worthy of a Forcible. Yeah, they really want to get to Murktide, it looks like, so they're willing to force that. Okay. Ooh, I know they have Wasteland, that's really strong. Okay, well, we're just passing through. We've got blasts up, but this is the tricky thing about keeping a hand like this, is not having the 3rd mana to get the Fable out on time, so. do? Swing in. And Corey Steelcutter. Oh, wow, that's strong. And it's red, so we can't even blast it. Yikes. Okay. Well, Mountain and say go. They must know that we have some sort of blast effect up here. They're playing Preordain. I mean, we're not doing anything else with these, so we might as well get rid of the blast. Just use it while we can. Let them surveil. I should have technically let them surveil first because they didn't know that the Preordain was going to get red elemental blasted, but that's fine. Just giving them more information than they need. Okay, they're fetching here for island. This is probably going to be... Oh, what is this? Oh, this is just equip. Oh, wow, okay. Oh, they only have one card in hand, I see. Okay, they get in for 4. It's fine. Here we go. Ancient Tomb and a Fable. Make a Goblin Shaman token. Okay, they've got Mishra's Bauble here. Just lets them surveil. Yep, they're crashing in. Nothing we can do about that. Okay. They draw a card. We draw Urza Saga. What can Urza Saga do for us? I'm not sure. Honestly, this Pyroblast isn't looking like it's gonna have a lot of... a Murktide would really screw us right now. We're definitely using this ability and wanting to draw as many cards as possible, because I'd love to get into, like... What would I love to draw into? I'd love to draw into Ensnaring Bridge. I'd love to draw into combo pieces. We'll say, okay, we'll get rid of everything except the Fable, because the Fable we can at least play out, and that'll help advance our board state and let us dig into more stuff. I know that the Pyroblast is still good to get rid of Murktide, but we can't be playing to not lose. We have to try and find our win con, really. So we'll say yes and get rid of these. Draw into another blast and a Soul Guide. Okay, Soul Guide is good. Yeah, let's go to combat. Swing in with the Goblin Shaman. That gives us a treasure. Okay. Then we'll play out Soul Guide. We'll get rid of... doesn't really matter. We'll get rid of Daze, I guess. As long as it's an instant or sorcery to make the Murktide smaller, that's fine. And then we'll play the Fable. Okay. And pass back to them. And we have Treasure Token available. We have Soul Guide available. Treasure for Pyroblast, rather. Okay. They come in. Nothing we can do because it flies anyway. Ooh, actually, I can... Yeah, I can sacrifice the Soul Guide now, exile their graveyard, to instant speed shrink this unless enchantment land instant artifacts. No, that wouldn't even shrink it because of the stuff in our graveyard, right? As long as there are 4 card types in your graveyard. Oh no, it is your graveyard. Yeah, let's do that. Sacrifice the Soul Guide. And then we'll trade. Okay. We'll block. See how they want to respond to that. Cool. We were able to trade in combat. That was sweet. Finding that line. Okay. Let's go this and then that. So that's fine. We can make a new Fable. This will use that ability. Get rid of both of these. Try and find more stuff. Engineer. Engineer is interesting. Let's go to combat. Attack. Let's go engineer. Okay, deal damage to them. Let's go engineer. And what do we tutor up here? Yes, we want to use this ability. I think just the Phyrexian Dragon engine to dig us into more cards seems good. At this point, we really don't need Ensnaring Bridge. If they had Murktide, they would have played it by now, or any other creature for that matter. Yeah, let's do Dragon Engine. And then we don't have enough for this, do we? No, we don't. We'll pass and have Red Elemental Blast up. Okay. Surveilling. We got here Tameo. That I'm going to blast just to continue playing the tempo game and make sure they can't block, or turn that into a Planeswalker to nullify our attacks. Oh, and they just gave it to us. I saw the writing on the wall with the pausing on the stack. Okay, let's go to sideboards. Sweet. That Soul Guide Lantern play was great. I was very happy with myself about that. Here they're playing a bunch of creatures. We probably want to bring in the Furies. We probably want to bring in the Abrade. We'll keep the blasts in, obviously. Anything else? Paling Needle, Flute. Nothing really. What I'm really interested in is Quarry Steel Cutter. Does that have activated abilities that can be turned off with Pithing Needle or anything? I don't think so. And we probably don't want to bring in Disruptor Flute when we're on the draw, if that even was the case, to like slow them down tempo-wise. So what do we cut here? If we're bringing in the Fury and Abrade, we can probably cut the Opal. I don't think the persistent mana is super important. We can just play with the Petal for now. Their graveyard is important, but not super important. I know they forced the Agathas, but it's not like the end-all be-all. If we have Soul Guide that can be tutored up with Saga and 1 Agathas, I think that's fine. Oh, why is this? Oh, I've got a visual bug. Okay. I'm just gonna submit. Oh, how do I get rid of this? That's so annoying. And hello? How do I? Ugh, I had a visual bug. This sucks. We're keeping this anyway. How do I get rid of this? Can somebody help me out here? This is crazy. Okay, they're preordaining. It's fine. Do I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? Yep, I wasn't able to fully sideboard, so I'm playing with an extra large deck. Okay, here I think we go for just persistent mana or the saga. Let's go for persistent mana. Pass, we can bolt if they play something. This is crazy. Can I hide this and come back to it? Cancel. Okay. If I hide it, can I bring it back? Play match in the league. There we go. Okay. And we're back. They play Corey Steelcutter. That's fine. Okay. They make a prowess guy. We will respond by bolting. And then they have bobble. And then here, let's go Saga. Okay. Let's play the painter. Everything is blue. Pass back to them. So if we draw a soul land or any kind of fast mana, we can both grindstone and activate next turn. If not, we can play this slow without having to cast anything else and just let the Urza Saga tutor up the second grindstone. They're pondering, which is fine. They really gotta find something here. They gotta find some sort of answer. Yep, they got the bolt. Nothing we can do about that. That's fine. Ponder, yep. I think I'm just gonna go Great Furnace Fable next turn, because then that'll let us get into Fury the following turn, as opposed to having to Fury now. And if we Fury on our own turn, then the monks will probably be smaller, so we might be able to do a full board wipe with Fury, which will be nice. We have a little bit of time here, so I think that should be fine. Okay. We'll go Great Furnace. Tap out for Fable. Pass turn. So we've got 3 mana here, 4 with a land drop, 5 with Goblin Shaman attack. We could even do 6 with with a Lotus Petal that we tutor up from Urza Saga, so we can both Fury and Lightning Bolt in the same turn next turn. Ooh, Murktide is good. Okay. Thinking we just let this through. And then we can Fury to deal 3 to the Murktide, kill one of the others, then Bolt to finish the Murktide. Yeah, we'll let it through. Okay. So this is an interesting play pattern if you guys aren't aware with the, is it tempo decks? They played the bauble as an artifact to get delirium, and they can use it to look at their top card, and before the draw trigger, use a fetch land to decide whether or not they actually want to draw that card. So they're going to draw this, that's fine. Okay, we draw into another Fury. So let's go another Fury. Let's go. Hmm. Let's go Saga and then Fable. No. Yeah, let's go Fable and then Saga. So the question is, what do we get rid of here? I think we get rid of Great Furnace Grindstone. Trying to draw something better, keep all the removal to get rid of their board through counter magic. Say okay. Yes, get rid of Grindstone and Great Furnace. Draw into another Urza Saga. Here we will float a mana before this goes away. Then we'll tutor up. Tutor up a Soul Guide Lantern. Let me read Murktide. What does that say? Whenever an instant or sorcery leaves. Okay, so we can tutor up Soul Guide as long as we don't target an instant or sorcery. That's fine, and then that'll help us against future Murktides. Get a Soul Guide. Get rid of their Bauble to help get them further from Delirium. Okay. Then we will play out another Saga. Oh shit, I didn't think through this mana. I should have grabbed the Lotus Petal. Fuck. Okay, that's fine. I'm gonna lose this anyway, so at this point, I think it might be best to just draw a card here. Let's go use the colorless to draw with the Soul Guide. Okay, so here we can't do it yet, but we can play a Fury next turn. Yeah, let's go Fury pitching Simeon. Then we can play, yeah, let's do, if we do, I'm trying to think here, if we keep Simeon and Fury with an attack, we have enough for a Fury this turn. They can just threaten Murktide. If they get rid of it, then we can do it again. Okay. I think I go to combat. Sacrifice the Goblin Shaman token to get the extra mana. And then second main, we hard cast Fury, and then we have Pitch Fury afterwards if they counter. Or do we want to Pitch Fury now, play around Daze? Yeah, let's Pitch Fury now, play around Daze. Cast by exiling Bolt. And then, oh sweet, it just, everything works. That's amazing. So then we'll do Evoke. And then this, we'll target everything at Murktide, done. And just kill that outright. Awesome. Then this dies, that's fine. And then we have exile to make a red. And then use all of this to hard cast a Fury. And that'll wipe out the rest of their board. Oh, but they have days. Shit. Okay. We didn't play around that, but that's fine. Okay. Well, got a card out of their hand, got rid of the Murktide. They're bolting us to make another monk. Oh, shit. Might have flown a little too close to the sun with that one. Okay. They've got 4 here, which they can easily make more if they can find a non-land. Okay. We can make 2 blockers for next turn, but I'm not sure what our plan is after that. Oh, we really got blown up by that daze. That sucks. Yeah, they're destroying the Great Furnace. Okay, that's fine. Nothing we can do about that. And then that gives them 7 damage. Oh, they're dazing it just to get everything in now. What is that? That's lethal. We'll concede. They got that one. Let's go to sideboarding. This time, hopefully, let's not submit a deck that's more than 60 because of a visual bug. What do we want here? Ensnaring Bridge is good. What are we cutting for the Furies and a Braid? Bolt is good. Soul Guide was interesting. I don't think we actually need the Agathas at all, really. Like, we just sacked Soul Guide to get a land, and that was totally fine. We have Blast for the Murktides anyway. We need 1 more cut. Probably don't need all the mana. I could cut a Simian Spirit Guide. Yeah, I like the bolts. Haulers, engineers. Yeah, might be wrong. I'll cut a Spirit Guide. That was one of the flex slots anyway. I know having them in is better if we have the Furies, but yeah, I think we can afford to cut one. Just trimming. Okay. I will take the play. Game 3 now. What do we have? We got mana. We've got Welders. We've got Urza Saga. We'll keep this. Yeah, we'll keep this. Go Mountain into Welder. And then next turn we'll do Arena into Welder, keep up Pyro, and then we'll start doing Urza Saga nonsense a little bit later. Okay, so here The important thing is us getting rid of Tamiyo, so I'm going to play around days by just tapping the arena for Pyro now to get rid of this Tamiyo. And then we'll go to combat, swing in. Now, I could play the Grindstone, but with Ancient Tomb, that would get us to 4 mana next turn, which is not enough to both play Painter and activate Grindstone if we top deck Painter, so it's really not worth it. I'm just gonna play out another Welder, and then we can start doing Grindstone, Saga stuff, maybe combo later. And I gotta start playing a little faster. I only got 10 minutes, but I should be fine for one game. They have Corey Steelcutter, okay. Mishra's Bauble to turn it on. Hopefully our Saga construct tokens can outsize the monks, but we'll see. Okay. Oh, this is perfect. So what we can do here is play... Do we want to even play Saga? I feel like we play Ancient Tomb in order to play around days. So what I can do is play Ancient Tomb. That will turn on the... Well, that will allow us to play Goblin Engineer and Grindstone around days. Yeah. So we'll play Ancient Tomb. We will play Goblin Engineer by paying a red and colorless. Okay. And then we will tutor for a Chaos Defiler. Then we'll play the Grindstone, and then we'll use a Welder, target the Grindstone and the Chaos Defiler to bring in the Chaos Defiler. That will, okay, let us get rid of the, let's get rid of the monk first. Say done. And then we'll pass back to them. Or no, let's just do this now. Let's go Welder. Get rid of Chaos Defiler, target Grindstone, because we know they can't do anything. So we'll get rid of, okay, we'll get rid of this, the Corey Steelcutter, when it comes out of play. So bringing it in and out just lets us start blowing up their non-land permanents. So they really can't do anything about this. And now they really got to find something. Okay. Yep, they're digging. They gotta find something here. Now if I top deck Painter, I just win. Even if I don't, I can probably win if I just play quickly, make sure to leave Chaos Defiler in play so I can swing in with it. Let's see what they're doing. Red for a bolt. Okay, that's fine. Rid of one of our welders. Okay. Okay, perfect. we get a blast. So bring in that, that's fine, okay. And let's pass back to them. Yeah, I'll pass back to them. We can bring in Chaos Defiler at instant speed with these guys, so we'll be good there. And we'll have Red Elemental Blast to back up whatever they do. Okay, they have Wasteland. We will float a mana. Okay. Dragon Rage Chandler, that's fine. We will use Grindstone, target us to mill ourselves. All that stuff, okay. Just trying to put more stuff in the graveyard to be able to utilize the welder and engineer. So here we're gonna welder, get rid of this, bring back this. And then we can engineer back the other way if we need to, which we don't. Perfect. Yep, and they see it. We can just bounce back and forth, get rid of all their stuff, and they just concede right there. That is the power of Chaos Defiler in this deck. That is awesome. So we go to 2-0, and we will go into the next one. On the play for round number 3, what do we have? We've got turn 1 welder into turn 2 engineer. This is a keep all day. The thing is, we need an artifact in play in order to do stuff with the welder, but that should be easy with the boots. So we'll do turn 1 welder. Let's see what they want to do. Okay, Urza Saga. We will play out the Saga. And then I think we just immediately play the Painter. Turn everything blue. And pass back to them. We don't need to attack here. Probably going to win with the Painter Grindstone. We got Blast to back it up. And we have Engineer to do broken stuff if they find a way to answer Painter. So like next turn we could play Mountain, play Boots, play Engineer, tutor up the Chaos Defiler, swap the Boots for the Chaos Defiler. Like we can do some really broken stuff. Okay. Here we'll go Mountain. They've played Underground Sewers and Misty. It's probably like a Bug Beans deck, so they probably have Force of Will, I think. Let's actually go to combat, and we'll just leave up like Activate to make a Saga token. Or do we want to Engineer with Pyroblast? No, we want Pyroblast for next turn when we activate. So yeah, let's just go to combat and swing in with both. Just do some chip damage here if it does come down to that. Yeah, they're not going to block this. And just pass through. We'll use the mana to make a token at their end step. Assuming there's nothing that we need to blast. Omen of the Sea. This is a brew. What is this all about? Omen of the Sea is interesting. It's just scry, draw cards, so it's not like it's anything crazy that we would need a counter, even though it's one of the unique things of this list. Okay. It's all blue-black stuff and Omen of the Sea. This is... what is this? The One Ring. To give themselves protection. That I'm gonna blast. That deserves a blast. Okay. They force a will. Okay, you got it. One ring. Okay, so here, what do we want to do? I mean, we just have the combo and their upkeep. So I think we just float mana. Okay. Grab Grindstone. Play Mountain. Play... we don't want to engineer because then we don't have the mana to activate Grindstone in their upkeep, so let's play a Soul Guide. It's really the only thing that is doing anything here, in case they have some graveyard stuff. This looks like almost like a paradoxical outcome kind of thing, like big blue artifacts. Let's just get rid of... let's get rid of Petal, I guess. I probably could have, whatever, swapped One Ring for Petal, which would have been good with Welder. That was dumb. Yeah, I should have done that. Okay, we'll put a stop on their upkeep. We'll put a stop on their upkeep and then pass. Oh, that was dumb. I should have done that. Pass through attacks. On their upkeep, this is where we will respond with Grindstone them. And we win. Perfect. Let's go to sideboarding. So they're doing blue stuff. We just keep in the Pyros and the Red Blasts. Disruptor Flute and Pithing Needle are probably good against their deck. I don't think that graveyard stuff seems to be as important. So we'll get rid of that. I don't know what all the black is for. There's a lot about their deck I'm not fully understanding. Maybe it's something obvious that I should know. Maybe it's like blue-black omniscience or show and tell. I've been seeing, yeah, there's some sort of, I think there was a rogue deck that I saw on 90s MTG that was blue-black show and tell with like Grizzlebrand and Emrakul and Omniscience. Maybe that's what they're doing with the fast mana and the One Ring in a blue shell. But yeah, there's a lot that I'm still not quite understanding. I don't think the graveyard's as important. We'll just bring in the Pithing Needle and the Disruptor Flutes and call it there. We'll just name the One Ring with everything. Could consider the Blood Moon effects. Brea, it's not really doing much. A Braid doesn't help us against the One Ring. Yeah, we'll just keep it like this. We can probably get rid of the Ensnaring Bridge. I don't think they're attacking us. Let's do... let's do a one-off Magus instead of Ensnaring Bridge. Bring it back if that's an issue, and they are. Grizzle Branding. Okay. Here, we got Build Your Own Force. We've got lands into Urza Saga. Bolt's not doing much. Chaos Defiler's not doing much. So I think this is... yeah, this is basically like a Mulda 5 and a bad one at that. Let's just mulligan this. Chaos Defiler's not doing anything in our hand. Here we've got Painter turn 1 into... Actually, we have Magus turn 1. That's pretty sweet. Or we could Fable. There's a lot we can do with this. We're keeping this for sure. We're definitely keeping Tomb. We're definitely keeping Second Land. Fast mana. Magus turn 1 is probably the play. Painter's good and the Fables are good. We can get rid of one of the Fables. Done. Okay. They Thoughtseize. Okay, go ahead. They're probably going to take the Magus here. I don't know. In that case, I might start on Painter, then do Fable, play it slow. Oh, they just got rid of the Painter. Okay. That's fine. I'll happily Magus you and just start beating down. Thoughtseize bug. That's amazing. Okay. Let's do what we came here for. Although, if they... Hold on a second. They just played Underground Sea and left Magus in the hand. They probably have Daze here. I kind of want to play around Daze. Let's just play the Painter instead. Let's Magus turn 2. Yeah, let's play around Daze if we can. Yeah, see, and now they regain priority. They're looking at this. Okay. Street Wraith. This is some weird kind of combo, unfair something deck. I feel like I should know what this is, but I have no idea. Oh wait, is this Doomsday? This must be Doomsday. Street Wraith, One Ring. Yeah, yeah. This is blue black. This must be Doomsday. Okay. We can sideboard better then for next game if it comes down to that. Ponder here. Okay. If this is Doomsday, keeping them off of black is going to be strong here because they can only fetch basic island with Flooded Strand if we threaten Magus next turn, which we're going to do. Okay. Yep, let's go Mountain and Magus. They're going to force a will, because they have to, yep. Okay. We'll go to combat, send in for 1. They know we don't have a blast effect because they know about Simian Spirit Guide. Okay. Here they get Underground Sea, and they'll probably get another one and just Doomsday. We might be just done here. Yep, just like I thought. This is Doomsday. Okay. Take a look at their exile to see what the list looks like. It was interesting with the Omen of the Sea. I don't know if that's standard tech now for Doomsday. I just haven't seen that. I mean, I haven't seen Doomsday in a while anyway, but do they have a way to crack the pile now is the question. Also, if we just top deck Grindstone and after they pass, then we're just golden. Let's see what they got here. Pop this out. 1, 2, 3. They got rid of all the forces. Just gonna screenshot this quickly. Keep that on my other monitor to reference. It's fine. Okay. Okay. Here, we don't have any agency really. Oh, that sucks. Yeah, we have 0 agency. We can put them to let's see, do they have actually we might be able to do enough damage to them that we can kill them here. If they like can't draw. Okay, we'll do what we can. I'm gonna Fable here. And then that'll make us a 2/2. I can use Lava Spur Boots to make it 3 power and give it haste. And then hopefully we can deal 4 damage to them, and then I'll put them to 2, which maybe turns off Street Wraith, because I'm not seeing the Street Wraiths in exile. Yeah, holy shit. That did it. Yeah, because they were at 6 life. They were hoping to use their life as a resource to do the Street Wraith, but we just had enough damage to put them to exactly 2 so that they can't use Street Wraiths to draw into the Thassa's Oracle. Wow. What an incredible line. That was awesome. We go to 3-0 in our first ever Legacy League. This is incredible. Okay. Okay, we are on the play for round number 4. Let's see what we got here. This is 0 starting lands and just Spirit Guide that doesn't do much of anything. Yeah, this is clear mulligan. This is Welder into question mark. We really need lands. We could cast Welder. If we don't get a land, then we really just have Bolt and there's nothing here. I know that this has, like with Welder, Engineer, and Painter Servant, this has explosive things it can do and it can top deck well, but this is really risky if we don't get land too. So we're going to go to 5. And here, this isn't that great either, but I don't think we can afford to put this back. We've got Soul Guide is castable. Urza Saga is a legit plan. We're going to keep this. We'll get rid of Chaos Defiler and one of the Welders. Done. And we're going to go Saga into Soul Guide Lantern and hope that that is good enough. Send it back to them. Oh, we gotta take the upkeep stop off. Okay, Horizon Canopy into Noble Hierarch. So this is probably Nadu combo, which if it's Nadu Breakfast, then... Ooh, wait a second. We have Painter Servant. If I just play Painter here, then we have win next turn. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, we can beat a daze here. Make everything blue, and then we have emergency draw with Soul Guide to maybe get Spike a Simian Spirit Guide for Red Blast if we need. This looks good to me. Yeah, because the only thing I can think of here is if they're Nadu, they're probably also Breakfast, so they can do the Cephalid Illusionist thing with, if they play a land, they'll have 3 mana to be able to do. We're gonna Swords here. This is probably where we want to respond with Red Blast if we can, so let's try drawing. We don't hit it. That's fine. That sucks, but that's fine. Nothing we could do there. And then they Wasteland. Oh, that's brutal for us. Okay. We got completely sent to the Stone Age. And we're just drawing tombs. That sucks. Okay. Well, that was a bit of a blowout, but what are you going to do? Oh, wow. Thalia here. Interesting. And another Wasteland. Okay, well, good thing we played out the Ancient Tomb. That's fine. Pass back to them. This is just brutal now. The second Wasteland wasn't that painful, but the first one really sucked, and now we're missing on lands. Yep, they have Scythecat Cub. Holy cow, and another Wasteland? Okay, third Wasteland hurts a lot. And they have Thalia, so we can't even play Petal. Oh my god. Yeah. I'm just going to let them do their thing so that we can see a little bit more of the deck. This looks like just standard. Oh, the Thalia is interesting. I was going to say this looks like standard Nadu. This is not standard at all. The Scythecat Cubs are obviously amazing, but... And those are pretty bog standard. Holy cow. They were able to get all the way to 14 with Dahlia that quickly? What the hell? Scrib Ranger. Is this like some sort of weird elves variant of Nadu? I don't know what's going on here. I mean, there is creature stuff, so we're obviously bringing in a Braid, we're bringing in the Furies. We can take out some blast effects, so between the Red Blast and the Pyroblast is better because we can cast it even if the target isn't blue, just to get cards out of our hand for things like Ensnaring Bridge. So when you are cutting blast effects, always cut the Red Blast first. I didn't see them do any illusionist things, and it doesn't look like they were running blue, so I don't think that we need to worry so much about the graveyard. I think we can probably cut that. And the boots, we can probably bring in like a pithing needle and disruptor flute. Do you want to bring in more flute? Do we want to bring in Brayas? We're probably not. We can think about the moon effects. Is there anything that's not as great here? I think the pyros. Did they? Getting mixed up with a lot of this stuff. Yeah, I don't think they did anything blue. Yeah, I think we can probably cut one more blast effect to bring in the other flute and submit that. We're just bringing the flutes and the pithing needles to stop their Nadu combos if they're doing that stuff. This we can also name Wasteland, but Wasteland doesn't really do. Yeah, this doesn't do much. I mean, it gets rid of things, but like, what are we doing? You know, we're on the play. We gotta advance our own game plan here. I like this a lot more. We can turn one Welder into turn two a Braid or exile Simian Spirit Guide for Fable. We'll keep this. We will get rid of second Welder. Yeah, get rid of second Welder. Done. Mountain Welder, go. Yeah, we'll Saga into exile Simian Spirit Guide for Fable probably next turn, unless they play something good here that we can abrade. Windswept Heath. Okay, they're cracking Heath for Savannah. Mother. Okay. Well, we gotta get rid of that. Do we have to get rid of that? Yeah, we have to get rid of that. I was gonna say we could play the painter, but we could play the painter next turn, that's fine. Let's go Saga. Okay. And then we will cast this to kill the mom. And then go to combat. Send in with Welder. Untap Savannah into Green Suns for Dryad Arbor. Okay. Okay, that's fine. I don't care. Just hit OK. Here, we're just gonna play Painter Pass, I think. No, let's go to combat first, and I mean, it's minimal, but maybe they'll trade with the Arbor. There's no way they trade. Yeah, I didn't think so. We'll play Painter, say go. We'll name blue. Pass to them. Oh, and the blowout with the Force of Vigor, that was very strong. Luckily, we have the Welder. Hopefully, we can top deck into a mana source for a Fable. Whoa, and they get rid of the Welder. Okay. Well, now we have a game on, so that's something. They're really killing us with these blowouts. Do we want to play another painter? We don't really want to play another painter with the Simian because then we don't have anything to get into Fable. So we're just going to pass here. Try and draw into a more persistent mana source. Okay, that's fine. It's slow, but it's a plan at least to let them do whatever they want next turn and then pyro the turn after. Oh, I kind of hate it, but like what else are we doing, right? Like the pyro's just dead in our hand if not, and then we're fabling in 2 turns as opposed to pyroing in 2 turns. Yeah, we'll do this. It sucks, but we'll do it. And if they have the swords here, then we're screwed regardless. Yeah, if they fetch and swords in our end step here, I think this is. Hey, first principles, what's going on, man? Okay. Lush Portico, Scythe Cat Cub. Just growing. That's fine, but. What is going on here? Night, get rid of that. Yep. Yeah. Now I think we're just officially screwed. There's not a whole lot we can do. Yep, they're going to double to give it 6 counters. So it's by default, what? Like a 2-2? Yeah, so 8. And they're probably going to be able to kill us next turn. And there's the land that we needed last turn. There's nothing we can do. We'll just pass. And this game is probably over. That's 11. Can you kill us? Or just put us to 1? There's nothing I'm drawing, right? I mean, yeah, I would need land and. Yeah, they have trample anyway. We're at 1. We're just going to concede. Okay, well, they got us with the Force of Vigor, which was really disappointing, but there was not a whole lot that we could do there. We had to just, you know, threaten the wins when we had them, and um, didn't go the way we wanted. We probably could have gotten rid of more pyroblast effects for some other more usable cards if I was more aware of what was going on with this deck. I think this was just some sort of like uh, green white what's it called, Gaia's control deck as opposed to Nadu, given the fact that we didn't see any blue stuff. So I think I was overly concerned with that and um, not signing properly. But that, this is one of the rogue decks that's important to see in some of these leagues and important to learn about as we're prepping for the tournament. So that's fine. We are in round number 5. On the play here, we have lands and spells, Urza Saga, Agatha's, Goblin Engineer. This looks great. We'll keep this. And then we can figure out if we want to Agatha's quickly for Graveyard Hate, if we want Urza Saga to just put the pressure on, if we want to play things a little bit slower, try and engineer. There's a lot we can do here. We'll see what they do. Eye of Ugin. Okay. So they are playing Eldrazi. Eldrazi is basically like a mono red deck now, so I don't think Pyroblast is going to be very good. Agatha's doesn't do very much for us. I think we probably just want to keep up the Bolt. So maybe Mountain into Urza Saga Engineer next turn. Yeah. Yeah, I think we do that. Let's do Mountain Pass. Hopefully they can play, I forget the name of it, but there's that 3-drop red Eldrazi that they could play here. Okay. They're just passing back. Interesting. Okay. What do we want to do? Do we want to... I think we just engineer here. The question is, what do we get with engineer? Yes, we'll use this ability. We could... So this deck has a really interesting interaction where what you can do is you can activate the grindstone and then in response bring in the Painter Servant. So I could grab Painter Servant and just try and combo once we get to 3rd chapter with Urza Saga, or I could try and slow it down and bring in like an Ensnaring Bridge. The thing is we have so many cards in hand. I don't know how we deploy all of them to be able to have the Ensnaring Bridge be an effective stop. So I think we just need to race with Painter. Yeah, I don't love it, but I think that's the best thing we can do. Yeah, so what we'll do here is next turn we'll play like Ancient Tomb or Mountain. We can either make a construct or play the Agathas and engineer to bring in the Painter. There's a lot we can do here. Oh, they're Thought Knot. Okay. So the Bolt's not going to really be helpful. The Pyro could be helpful if we bring in the Painter. We'll see what they want to take of the 3 of these. If I were them, I don't know, maybe the Agathas so we can't swap with the Engineer, but we're really going to be swapping the grindstone. So I don't know what they take here. And I don't think they have a lot of interaction that can help them against us if we're just going this quickly. Do they have main deck creature removal? Let me look up an Eldrazi list. Yep, they take the Agathas. That makes sense because the Pyro and the Bolt isn't really doing very much, and we just have Painter anyway. That's hilarious. Okay, that's fine. Let's play Mountain. Let's just play the Painter now, because then that gives us the ability to keep up Pyroblast against anything that they play. So yeah, that's fine. And we can always engineer out Painter for another Painter if they try and target it with something. So whatever they want to do, that's fine with me. Gonna look up this metagame deck, see what I can see about their list here. Where is... Let's do view more. It's Eldrazi. Just tempo, no. Am I just being stupid and missing it? I cannot find it over here. Red stopping, no. Goblins. What do they play? Eldrazi Linebreaker. I mean, that's fine. I don't care about them doing damage because I'm just threatening a win next turn. So, yeah, that's fine. You can have your Eldrazi Linebreaker. Okay. Deal 9 to me, like I care. Okay, they come in. Yeah, no blocks. We'll take 9. Go to 11. Pass to us. Then here, we will float a mana. Okay. Grab the grindstone. And then I'm going to play the Ancient Tomb just to have as much mana as possible and have the double blast effect. Yeah, and they see the writing on the wall. So there we go. Go to sideboarding. Here against Eldrazi, I really Control F. Eldrazi. Here we go. Let me see if I can see their list. Once Upon a Time, Kozilek. Do they have creatures? They have Sire, Devourer, Glaring Freshraker. Yep. They have Wastegate, Battle Mage. They have Null Rods in the side. That's good to know about. They have Dismembers. They have Fairies, Leyline, Disruptor Flute. Okay, they don't have One Ring. So I don't think... Pithing Needle could be important to name Wasteland specifically. I don't think the Disruptor Flute's doing much. The Abrade... What does that do? That answers Linebreaker, Battle Mage, Fleshraker. Yeah. Abrade and creature removal is good. We can probably trim on the Red Blast. Let's just start bringing stuff over here so we can see what we're bringing in and out. Ensnaring Bridge is important. Could probably cut on a couple more blasts. It's not really doing a lot for us. The Blood Moons are great. That we definitely want to bring in. Fury. Fury's good. Is Fury great? It's probably okay. Disruptor Flute. Cut and Opal. Yeah. We can think about the rest. I don't think that Fury is super actually, wait a sec. They don't use their grave at all, so I think Agatha's definitely comes out. Soul Guide can come out. That's over here, so that would give us Furies in. Yeah, let's try it like that. I don't know. We might need to bring in the Disruptor Flutes. I just don't have enough time, and I don't know this matchup well enough. But you know, that's why we're doing this. We'll see what happens here. So, what do we have? We have turn 1 Welder and turn 2 Engineer with Fury, Abrade. We'll keep this. Hopefully we find an artifact that we can weld in and out. Ooh, okay. Well, they have Leyline, so they're strong against our graveyard stuff. We can engineer just a thin if we need to. Oh, and we got bolt. We got some good stuff here. We could use a little bit more mana, but other than that, not too upset here. Probably gonna go Arena. Ooh, Flesh Raker. That's good. Yep, that's gonna do some damage to us. We'll bolt that next turn. Okay. Let's go. Arena of Glory. Yeah, let's bolt this now. And then let's go to combat. Swing with Welder. And then play another Welder. So even though our graveyard's turned off, what's interesting here is they have Lotus Petal in play. Presumably, if they have Null Rod, which is obviously a great sideboard tech against us, they could play the Null Rod. If they ever crack the Petal, then we have Welders that can swap the Null Rod for the Petal. Oh, I'd love to play this Blood Moon, but we don't have the mana. So I think what I'm going to do is just go to combat. Send both of these. And then I think here we just play the engineer and get rid of an artifact that we don't want. Yeah, let's play the engineer and get rid of whatever is the most irrelevant artifact. Honestly, I think the boots is probably not great. We could turn on them. Pithing Needle. Let me see their list again. Is there anything other than Wasteland? And do we even really care about? We do kind of care about Wasteland, but yeah, it's gonna be a while till we see that. So let's just get rid of Needle. Okay, pass back to them. Okay. Let's see what we got here. Okay, Ancient Tomb. I mean, they have mana for days. Go to combat. Send in. We'll play the painter. Just name blue. Pass. Okay. I've got all the mana in the world. How much is this? 7 to activate? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I could do that. We could activate Eye of Ugin here. Looks like they have some kind of action. Okay, what is this? Okay. They are exiling that and bouncing that. Okay, that's fine. Sweet. We'll play Ancient Tomb. Let's go Fury, get rid of... let's go Fury, get rid of Engineer, replay Welder, replay Blood Moon. I think that's probably good. Let's go... let's go exert that. Red. We'll go Welder with haste. Then we'll go Blood Moon. Then we'll go Fury, get rid of Engineer. Done. And then crash in for 3. Why did they dismember that? That seems crazy to me. It was dying anyway. Whatever. Attack with everything. They go to 7, and now we have them on a 3-turn clock that hopefully we can speed up. Yep, we'll play out another welder. Go to combat. Attack with all. And we have them dead next turn. See what they want to do. See what they can do. And that's it. We just won. We just won round 4, and we got the 4-1. Awesome. Okay, so we got the 4-1. That is sweet. We got an extra 20 play points. We got qualifier points. Whoa. Sorry about that. Don't know what happened there. Yeah, we got our play points back plus some more. We got qualifier points, and we got treasure chests. So very happy with a 4-1, especially for first ever league. This deck, let's go back to the deck. This deck seems really strong. I really like the bolts. I think we didn't really see much out of Agatha in terms of being able to do any kind of grave hate stuff. We weren't against a lot of graveyard decks, and we didn't get to see it do any stuff with the welders or the engineers, but good to know that that's there, because I was really, like I said, thinking through um, the lists and some of the sideboard tech for some stuff coming up and doing some deck tuning. So Devourer with Agatha's, I don't think that this deck really missed it a lot. There were even a lot of like beatdown scenarios where we were able to do just fair stuff. They had in that last round with Eldrazi, they had, turn 0 Leyline. We had all the engineers, all the welders, and we were just able to send creatures forward, go wide, and luckily they just didn't have a lot of action in that particular case. But, you know, in situations where we're able to play a couple fables, play painters with a, you know, 3 toughness, swinging into 2/2s for fairly free. We can do a lot of damage that way. We can do a lot of damage with Urza Saga tokens, even though we didn't make any this whole league. Overall, really love the deck. I like the Furies. I like having the Abrade as an answer to things like Null Rod, so definitely want to keep that in. We'll think through the Breas maybe. Maybe that needs to be bringing the second Magus back in, bringing in Abrade. There were a couple other sideboard tech options that we could think through there. But overall, main deck, having the Spirit Guide, having the extra Bolt, I really like that. I think having strong, solid mana under us, especially if we are kind of like stompy, mid-range, tempo first, just doing good um, quality on-rate magic with inevitability with the combo, I think it is better for us and is just a better strategy overall with this deck than just being very quick aggro combo, because you run into Force of Wills, you run into Force of Vigors and stuff like we saw the blowouts in the one match that we lost against that Selesnya Gaia control type deck. Um, So yeah, I mean overall love the deck. 4-1 incredible record and very happy with the result. So thanks so much. Appreciate you all for watching. Bye bye.